You like log in and it makes transcript for you, even though you're here.
Did you see? Yeah, sorry.
I was up there. Yeah.
Am I still up there? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I gotta get that, thing. I'll take it up in there.
I can throw you out now if you want.
And behind the curtain. They can have attention.
I wonder how many meetings I've done that, it's just, I'm not.
But then you just does like an AI summary for you.
Yeah. And. That seems crazy. It's great.
Well, these days with those watches and stuff, you have no idea who's recording. They choose not to tell you. You just think they have a watch on.
Their Google glasses or whatever.
It's medical.
Nice. I shouldn't say that. That's sad. Actually, some people think he starts talking.
Yeah.
Episode of Black Mirror. Yeah. Martin was watching. Phone conversation. I've done that before. I've done people imagine you play back and like the guy goes through what's executed. You're like, just rewind back for the day. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. Are they?
We have, Jeff.
I'm working on my meeting. Sheriff and Chantel.
Watched all this.
Yeah, I do.
And Jeff said, I'm sure Jeff said he wasn't gonna be.
Yeah, we have all three of them.
Cheryl, Jeff, and Chantel times.
Yes.
Okay, if we could rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Kim? Take roll.
Mr. Berkowitz,
Here.
Ms. Dix,
Present.
Ms. Hamilton,
Here.
Mr. Hilliard,
Here.
Mr. Pilatus,
Here.
Mr. Trot,
Here.
Mr. Wagner,
Here.
Mr. Willis.
Jeff, can you hear us?
You guys, can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you.
Did everyone get to review the minutes from our March 19th meeting? Corrections, concerns? A motion to accept, so moved. Second, Kim?
Ms. Dix,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Pilatus,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's gonna take us to public comments. Kathy?
Yes, thank you. I received an email today, so I had, emailed her back to say I would bring it up at the meeting, and then another person had called me the other day. So is it okay if I just read the email?
Sure.
My name is Karen Dorich. My husband and I live at 1852 East 33rd Street. It's one block cul-de-sac. We live in a circle. Our property abuts the city of Erie, Johnston Reservoir. To the northeast of the reservoir is a railroad line and the Bayfront Expressway. We are both retired and live on fixed incomes. The reason I'm writing is that we have very low water pressure here, so low that I have gone down to the basement too many times to count to make sure the hot water tank has not bottomed out. Last year, I placed a call to the water authority, and the woman who answered the call told me I live in an area known for low water pressure and there's nothing to be done about it. I asked her if why we were not being compensated for that, and she told me they do not do such a thing. I read the newspaper, watch the nightly news, read the Waterworks publication Newsflash. I am aware of the ongoing project to replace 7,400 lead service lines, which will be completed in 2027. I'm also aware of the 5.5 million renovation of its nearly 90-year-old facility on West 12th. And I must say clearly, the water line replacement is sorely needed. However, renovating a building seems like it should not take priority over making sure the citizens of Erie have the same water pressure throughout the city, and that is not the case. It seems like every year the price of water increases, as do our taxes, and every year our water pressure decreases. I have a friend who lives in the suburb of Erie, and she was in recent years assessed a fee by her municipality to cover the cost of a new pump that will increase the water pressure in her area. When she told me about this, it struck a chord with me. I know the water authority provides water to most of the outlying municipalities, but I'm sorry, why should they have better water pressure than the citizens of Erie? Why is water pressure important to their municipalities and not important to the water authority to address for the citizens of Erie? And then she does go on, but I don't know, I don't want to. So she's asking me as a council liaison to please investigate this matter and let me know what I can find for her. Okay, her name is Karen Dorich, and I have her phone number and her email. So that was that. And then,
Kathy,
yes,
could you give us the addresses?
sure.
I think it was 1852 East 33rd.
Is that common problem in that area that you're aware of?
That is probably on the southern end of a pressure zone, and it's probably lower there than to the north, for example. But there are some potential remedies that they can do. And there may not be anything we can do. I don't know what her pressure is exactly, but we'll certainly look into it.
Was it 1852?
Yes.
Oh, Eastern?
Yeah, oh, sorry, go ahead.
147467106. And I hate to be on the complaint end, but I received a phone call 2 days ago from Jeff Frompnick, who owns properties in the city of Erie. And I happen to know him because he actually grew up in my neighborhood, just a couple houses down the street. But he lives in Florida, but he spends his summer times with his family in Erie and has family in Erie still, and does own some properties. And he had complained about a letter that he had gotten through his rental person. And she is an elderly woman who lives next to the Mercy Apartments there on East 28th Street. And being a senior citizen, she was frightened by the fact that she had gotten a letter that said, we had been trying to contact you, but she said she hadn't received any. And it said that they were going to shut her water off if she didn't respond in 10 days to having Chivers come in and do whatever was needed. It must be the goose line pipes or something, but Chivers needed to come in to her house.
To determine if there's a galvanized line that has to be replaced. And so, we're treating it as a public health issue because it is. And so there may have been some stern language, but, certainly we'll work with the landlord, but we're going to need access.
He said he settled it, whatever, but he was just telling me that, she was very frightened because of being a senior citizen, a diverse woman. So,
He probably got a letter as.
she's the one that got the mail. She's the
Yeah.
one that got it. So,
But he probably did too as a landowner, as the property owner. And
didn't, yeah, like the wording or whatever.
sure. But I guarantee it's not the first time we've sent more information. So as we don't get responses, it gets increasingly more serious as to, you know, next steps. And so, we will certainly, you know, we try to be mindful of that and not be threatening and more factual with why we're doing what we're doing. So I'm sorry to hear that we're not trying to scare anybody. We're trying to help renew the infrastructure and keep everybody's water safe, really. So, but appreciate the feedback and would be happy to talk to Jeff if he's so inclined.
Yeah, he seemed fine. He just wanted to let me know that, we scared her, so.
I mean, if it being the chair of the CIP committee, Craig, if you and I wanted to maybe sit through and review that wording together just to make sure it's language appropriate, I'd be happy to do that as an action item.
Sure. Absolutely.
And
I
those are
don't,
the
I don't
only
think I've
two.
ever seen any of those letters before myself, so I'd be happy to read them.
Anything else? Kathy?
No, I apologize. Those are the only two things. And since they, like the one happened this morning and the phone call was 2 days ago, so I thought since I'm going to the meeting, I'll just bring those up right at the meeting. Thanks.
Thanks, Ken. Any other public comments? Seeing none. It's going to take us to our CEO report, Mr. Palmer.
Thank you. So we'll start out with employee engagement, and as the board likes to do when we have new employees, we like to introduce them and make sure that they're, you know, welcomed to this organization. And so we have 3 individuals with us in the back row there. The first one being Kyle Mangold, who is one of our newest laborers. He's from Seneca High School and worked with all sorts of equipment over the years with tree service companies and came to us as a CDL driver from Waste Management, where he was a candidate for Driver of the Year award, right? So we have Kyle. And we have to our right there, we have John Sapora, who comes to us from the Montessori Regional Charter School, where he worked in maintenance for 7 years there and similar roles with other organizations prior to that, and he came equipped with his CDL as well. And then we have Brady Watkins, who is Penn State grad. I wore my Penn State tie for it, Brady.
One of your many.
We hire Gannon grads and others too.
Ties, Penn State ties.
Oh, yeah, that's right. One of my many Penn State ties. That's true. But he's passionate about GIS and is our new GIS technician. And he previously worked for National Fuel doing GIS work on a contract basis. So happy to have them on board. And if anyone wants to say anything, you feel free to.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Nice to meet you.
No, we're happy to have you, and we're glad you picked us. And thank you. Be safe, be productive. No, I'm just kidding. But it's nice to meet you, and we're glad you're here. You don't have to stay.
It's a beautiful day. They have
Beautiful
probably
day.
better things to do. So,
But thanks for coming.
yeah. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. Next item, just community engagement wise, we have our second quarter news splash has been sent to, or is being sent to all of our customers. It's also in front of you. And it highlights our customer survey that we're undertaking for the next 3 months. That's going to help us with our strategic planning. It also identifies how to identify Erie Waterworks employees, badges, uniforms, things like that to help prevent scams. We are actually working with a company who have been trying to identify themselves as the water company. And we thought it was a very timely thing to remind our customers how to identify us. Because we often do need to access their home and so we included some important guidelines in that. We also released our 2025 water quality report or our consumer confidence report. And we have consistently met or exceeded all state and federal drinking water standards. We do that once a year, but beginning in 2027, we're required to do that twice a year, so every 6 months. And so that will result in some increased costs and such, but the DEP believes that it will create greater transparency. And so we don't really have a problem with that. So we'll be in full compliance. Couple other things in terms of community engagement. We have our Drinking Water Week festivities planned. That's May 3rd through the 9th. There's also a flyer for our first ever Drinking Water Festival. We're going to have that at the Wajaleski Water Treatment Plant from 10 to 2 on Saturday, May 9th. We have lots of community partners that will be there with activities. We'll have a tour plan itself and a nice presence from Mill Creek Fire Department and some others as well that will be at the plant. So all kinds of fun things going on, food trucks, face painting. We notified really all the local schools. And so they'll be parking at Tracy School and a whole list of activities. We'll be also doing a kind of a litter cleanup one day and also a ribbon cutting at the Asbury Tanks Pump Station, our $5 million pump station in Mill Creek Township there. Also wanted to point out, we had, sorry, where are we at here? We had a number of individuals at a Harbor Creek School trades fair, and we actually were able to have a couple of our Harbor Creek graduates there, one from our distribution department, and then the tall gentleman to the right, Dave McQuiston, he's our new PA1 call supervisor. So it was nice to get them out there as well. Other than that, I did have the opportunity to see Governor Shapiro at the Jefferson and also an opportunity to engage with Attorney General Dave Sunday. He's a very tall man, and the regional chamber organized that event, meet and greet. So he's getting out and about and, potentially could be a candidate for another position in the near future. So it was good to engage with him. In terms of industry engagement, I did attend the AMWA conference and water policy fly-in. That is primarily why we moved the board meeting to this week. And I will say it was a really great opportunity to engage with water sector leaders. This first slides, our board meeting on Sunday was at AMWA's new office. And so there's a picture of myself and Tom Dobbins. And I also presented AMWA with one of our original wooden pipes. So our original water system was a board wooden log system for fire protection. That pipe is 185 years old. It's from 1841. And so they had asked to decorate their office with some water artifacts. And so although many of the utilities present did have wooden pipe, they did comment they've never seen nicer wooden pipe. So they did. So we had that mounted and it will be prominently displayed in AMWA's new offices. So day 1 and 2, we had the Water Policy Conference. To the bottom left is EPA Assistant Administrator Jess Kramer, who addressed the audience along with other EPA representatives. And there were some really great topics with the representatives from the U.S. House and others at that conference. And so on Wednesday is when we kind of went on the Hill and met with um, staffers from the House Energy and Commerce Committee. They handle the Safe Drinking Water Act. We met with staffers from the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. They handle infrastructure, bipartisan infrastructure law, those types of things. And we also met with folks from the Senate Appropriations Committee. Of course, they handle all the funding. And, presently the administration is trying to cut funding by about 90%. And so what we found really is there's no appetite on either side of the aisle to do that. And so we're hoping to keep funding level. So they're advocating for many of those different things. On the bottom left is the group I was with. And there are, the water executives from Seattle, Louisville, Northern Kentucky, Central Alabama, Arkansas, and some others. So it was really a great experience, and I think we certainly made an impact. And I appreciate the board's support allowing me to do that, and of course rescheduling this meeting. So, and finally, as we will discuss as part of the Capital Improvements Committee, we did get a nice funding offer for galvanized requiring replacement, phase 5, $10 million funding offer, which includes $7.2 million in grant dollars. And of course, the $8 million pro-finance for a multitude of projects. I just wanted to point out that of the $90 million in funding we received for lead, 72 million of that is grant. And when we couple that with another $4 million in grants we've obtained the past few years for other projects, I just kind of wanted to let you know that had we needed to finance those dollars at, let's just say 4%, that would have translated to about a 16% increase in rates for our customers. So our ability to acquire that funding has really allowed us to not increase rates by that amount. So I think it's critically important for our customers, and we're fortunate to have been able to do that. We're going to keep trying to do that every single day. So that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Why is it called flying?
Because about 300 plus water professionals fly in from across the country. And so from every major water or wastewater related association. So the whole week is basically spent going on the Hill, talking to everyone we can about the priorities of drinking water systems. So
Everybody flies to every meeting. I didn't know why that was special.
I don't know. I'm new to it too. They call it flying. I drove in because I had the wooden pipe with me, so.
Couldn't get that through security.
That's right. Yeah, right.
No metal.
So,
Great.
yes.
The water safety report, obviously been a lot of discussion around fluoride from the public.
Mhm.
The fluoride levels, if I'm reading this correctly, continue to be below the suggested level of 0.7
Right.
parts per million or milligram per liter.
Correct.
Depending on the reference. I'm seeing here that it is 0.47 to 0.58. I'm reading that.
That's
right.
correct.
And
Yep.
that's just a single point in time, I assume.
I mean, it's more or less an average. We monitor it, all the time. We have, continuous monitoring, and then we have check samples that we do as well. Fluoride has been in the news a little bit. There's been some utilities that are experiencing inability to get product. A lot of it's related to the war. We haven't had that issue. We've communicated with our supplier. But I actually asked the EPA administrator in front of the whole crowd what their timeline was for, as we know they're studying fluoride. And I was the only one she didn't thank for the question. But essentially, we don't know. their timeline is vague. You know, she mentioned that by the end of the year, they should have the framework upon which they will study it and go from there sort of thing. And, you know, the sense I get is the administration or the politicians on both sides in some cases are, in some sense, waiting for a change of administration to do certain things. And so I don't know if this is one of them, but there's no really clear timeline. You know, I was looking for, is it a year, 2 years, 3 years? And I just don't know that answer at this point. But
Go ahead.
Is there anywhere written down like, how much fluoride we add to the water and the maximum, what is it, the
The
point?
0.7.
Yes.
yep, and that is contained in the water quality report. It's the fourth page, so towards the top. It starts with inorganic contaminants, goes to barium and then to fluoride. And then it says each location, so WP is the Wojciechowski plant, CP is Chestnut, which is here. Violation, no, and then level detected, 0.58 and 0.47. And then to the right of that, there's columns that are the MCLG is the maximum contaminant level goal and the MCL maximum contaminant level 2. And so we're below those. We're not permitted to go above those. And it is well above those where fluoride has been seen to cause some impacts. And so, you know, there was yet another study about that. And again, levels in drinking water being safe. And there is some naturally occurring that, you know, we have about 0.2 or so. And that was actually a comment made by a water utility executive to the EPA is, if you're gonna do something with fluoride and say not to do it, then at least don't tell us we have to remove what's naturally occurring. Unless it's at, you know, an unsafe level, which some places, you know, overseas have that. And so that's another important consideration too. And so, you know, there's definitely a lot of discussion taking place.
Reason I asked is under top customer questions, is fluoride added to my drinking water? The information you gave, it might kind of be nice to put here. Because some people won't look at this. I know I wouldn't, I would not.
You don't want to study the graphs and
Yeah.
charts and all that? Yeah.
That might, and you know, people that have that question, you know,
Sure.
like, okay, what is the fluoride? How much is in our water? You know, just to have it like, I mean, to really answer the question, is fluoride added to my drinking water? You know, and then add that.
Sure.
information.
No, that's a great.
You know, I think it's just a little bit more easier to read and understand.
Understand what it means.
Yes.
Articulate it a little bit more simpler in this area. That's definitely something.
I wouldn't pay attention to it if I wasn't on the water board. That's not something, you know, I think people right now just think that there's a whole bunch of fluoride added to our water and they might not really understand, you know, that we are really under the threshold.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that perspective.
There was a lot provided by an individual in public comment that was sent to the board.
Yeah.
Obviously came from an anti-fluoride research organization, I'll call them. There's a lot in there. I don't know if the board had an opportunity to go through it. I mean, there's links upon links that take you to 300-page documents, to another 300-page document, to all kinds of sources. Obviously, I view something with an anti-fluoride bias. Obviously, they're funded to meet their goal to try and suggest that fluoride is unhealthy in certain ways. But even me going through those documents, I did not come away with even a moderate conviction level that what Erie is doing has any negative impact, even with the research that was provided in that webpage. As a matter of fact, even the National Toxicology Program monograph at 0.7 said there was a low confidence that there was even any impact to IQ. And there's been some comments around skeletal fluorosis, bone effects, thyroids. I think it's important for the board to know that a lot of those studies that were conducted, those were based on fluoride levels that well exceeded even those that are recommended, like the 2.0 level, right? Like, we're at a level below even what the CDC, well, health organizations are recommending. So I came across maybe with even more conviction that our level from the safety report should be viewed as a healthy standard at this point in time, barring any other scientific evidence that comes out to suggest.
Sure.
So just wanted to state that because I did take some time to go through those, go through that website, some of the documents.
Yes.
Nick, thanks for going down to Washington and spreading the good story you have to tell about here.
You bet, you bet.
Keep it up. Anything else for Craig? That's going to take us to the Finance Committee and Mr. Pilatus.
All right, this part you all came for, so. It's exciting going here. We had a meeting on April 21st. Attending was myself, Mr. Berquist, Ms. Jones, Mr. Wagner, Mr. Palmer, Ms. Valerio, and Mr. Constantine from the Waterworks. The highlights are the revenue and expenditure report. March revenues were 4.6 million or 98% of budget. And expenditures, including debt services, were 4.1 million or 100% of budget. The surplus was at 554,000 versus 657,000 budgeted. Year-to-date total revenue is, we're 12.9 or 97% of the budget. So still some solid water sales. Year-to-date expenditures, including debt services, are 12 million, which is 97% of the budget. Year-to-date surplus is 842,000 versus the budget of 934,000. And debt service coverage is still strong at 134%. Remains above the requirement of 120%. Water sales and accounts receivable. As of March 31st, 2026, the total accounts receivable balance is 6.3 million, which is a 300,000 increase from previous months. However, we did make some gains in, what was it? 90 to 365. But the increase is based probably on timing due to the end of the quarter. Capital improvement expenditure report as of March 31st, 2026, approximately 2.2 million was invested in the water system. March current funding related to planned future expenditures reflects a positive balance of 1.2 million at month's end. Several resolutions that we'll go through. We have one on light duty fleet leasing program. We talked in depth about insurance renewal, multi-draw loan and line of credit. We have one asset disposal, which will relate back in context to the light duty fleet leasing program. And then we review the monthly staff invoices and we'll have a ratification for that. And then the check register, the commercial intent best check registers for March 2026 were reviewed. Any questions on the summary? Okay, that said, going right to business. On page 10 of the packet. Erie Waterworks awarded contract light duty vehicle leasing program resolution number 042326-01. Resolved by the board of the Erie Waterworks that the chief executive officer is authorized to enter a contract with Enterprise Fleet Management to procure and manage Erie Waterworks light duty fleet. Explanation. In order to stabilize Erie Waterworks fleet operations, staff evaluated the proposals for the service. Based on extensive due diligence and strong recommendations from local agencies, Erie Waterworks staff recommends establishing partnership with Enterprise Fleet Management. This is a recommendation of the Finance Committee, and I so move. Second.
Any questions? The only thing I'd like to ask, it's for 49 vehicles. and probably 3/4 ton. Yeah. It's none of our bigger vehicles are involved in this lease arrangement. Jim?
Ms. Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Plottis,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yeah.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Mr. Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dick.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to page 13, resolution number 2. Erie Water Works Insurance Renewal Resolution 042326-02, resolved by the Board of Erie Water Works, the Chief Executive Officer is authorized to enter in contract with Alliant Insurance Services Incorporated of Red Bank, New Jersey for property casualty insurance coverage in the Munich RE Specialty Insurance Affiliate Company Program for property crime, inland marine, general liability, automobile, umbrella, public official management liability, and Great American Program for cyber liability insurance that includes terrorism. The total premiums for the 12-month period will be $398,311. This insurance shall be in effect from pricing beginning May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2027, and subject to renegotiation for additional contract length for coverage and costs. Explanation. In an effort to protect the Erie Water Works asset obligation and general liabilities, Erie Water Works staff work closely with Crane, Langer and Company, an impartial risk management consultant, to request quotes and provide recommendation for the new insurance package. Crane, Langer and Company solicited quotes from 3 independent brokers to obtain the best coverage and value for Erie Water Works. These policies will ensure proper insurance coverage for potential damage, liability, risk association with the operation of the Erie Water Works. This is a recommendation of the Finance Committee, and I so move.
Second.
Summarize basically, same coverage, maybe a little better in some areas with a slight, I think, 7.5 increase for a 1-year term, which I think was pretty good for this environment.
With an increase in assets overall.
Yes.
Any questions? Hearing none. Kim?
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Ms. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Plottis,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dick.
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving on to resolution number 3, which is on page 18 of your packet. Erie Water Works multi-draw loan in line of credit, resolution number 042326-03. Resolved by the Board of the Erie Water Works that the Chief Executive Officer and appropriate personnel are authorized to execute all loan documents with First National Bank for the purpose of securing a $10 million multi-draw loan and a $5 million line of credit. Explanation. In order to fund initial engineering costs related to the Chestnut Water Treatment Plant, staff determined a multi-draw loan is the best option. Once design work is complete, staff will pursue Penvest finding. In addition, to provide financial flexibility in response to unforeseen operational impacts, staff recommends securing a line of credit. For financial institutions submitted term sheets, First National Bank provides the most cost-effective and flexible financial solution. This is a recommendation of the Finance Committee, and I so move.
Second.
As a part of discussion, when the need arises to draw on that financial loan, is all of that spending still going to be board approved, or what level of draw is allowed without board approval?
For the 10 million, any engineering, design contract would go through the CIP committee.
Okay.
The other kind of rainy day, line of credit, typically would be used for an emergency and, would be probably treated that way. We might need to call an emergency board meeting, to authorize certain things. Some things you don't need to do that for, but we would certainly communicate with our solicitor and the board regarding any use of that in advance.
Should we set up some policy of a, like some sort of financial limit of use as needed and form later versus need board approval prior to?
We certainly can.
It might just offer you some flexibility to respond without waiting for us.
Sure. Yeah, we can, we'll work on that, Jeff. I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I just had one comment. I'm excited to see this, starting to, turn into some reality with the engineering work done. And, Chestnut Street needs to be dealt with. And, the sooner we get this done, the sooner we'll know exactly how much it really might cost. We had with it. This is a great step in
Yeah.
the right direction, and I'm happy. Any other questions? Kim?
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Pilatus?
Yes.
Mr. Trot?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Willis?
Yes.
Berquist?
Yes.
Ms. Dix?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the next resolution on page 20. As our policy states, we have an asset disposal, Erie Waterworks Asset Disposal Resolution number 042326-04. Resolved that the Board of the Erie Waterworks ratifies the staff decision to send a 2009 Ford Explorer to auction as detailed on the attached asset disposal sheet. This vehicle will no longer pass inspection. Repairs are too costly for the age of the vehicle. As a result, the truck will go to auction in accordance with the asset disposal policy. This is a recommendation of Finance Committee. I so move.
Second.
So if you look at the next page, we are getting rid of a 2009 Ford Explorer with 109,000 miles. So that is, I want to say not atypical of the fleet. We have an older fleet. We have an aging fleet. You know, going to the resolution where we're releasing vehicles, they'll be new, they'll be under warranty. It will help us from incurring surprise costs, right? And we no longer have to drive 2009 100,000 plus mile vehicles to customer facing as well as other events. So yeah, thank you. This is the disposal.
Employee morale was one of the benefits of that program as well, which is important.
Fuel economy, safety features, nicer looking fleet. Who doesn't like driving a newer vehicle? There's lots of benefits.
You don't want to go to work and have the fear of breaking down on your job and the work.
It happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kim?
Mr. Pilatus?
Yes.
Mr. Trot?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Willis?
Yes.
Berquist?
Yes.
Ms. Dix?
Yes.
Ms. Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and I believe the last we have is the ratification of staff payment invoices resolution number 042326-05. Resolved that the Board of the Erie Waterworks ratifies the staff decision to make payments of invoices during the month of March 2026. Explanation: the Finance Committee received and reviewed a list of checks and electronic fund transfers that were processed during the month of March. The Finance Committee hereby recommends board ratification of staff decision to make payments of the invoices, and I so move. Second.
Any questions or concerns? Hearing none. Kim?
Mr. Trot?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Willis?
Yes.
Berquist?
Yes.
Ms. Dix?
Yes.
Harrington?
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Pilatus?
Yes.
Thank you.
And that concludes the business of the Finance Committee. Mr. Wagner?
Thank you, Mr. Pilatus. That's going to take us to the Capital Improvement Committee and Mr. Willis.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Am I audible for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. For the Capital Improvements Committee meeting, the attendees were myself, Mr. Wagner, and Mr. Trott. And from the Erie Waterworks staff, we had Craig Palmer and Chad Ellsworth. And from KLH Engineers, we had Rob Horvat. We talked about bids, CoStar's quotes, and professional service approvals. CoStar's quotes were received for an additional materials for the service connection replacement project phase 4. Essentially, we're going to need some additional copper and other materials to replace more customer side lines. And if we don't do it now, we're going to have to do it later. So it's a small project scope, and we should be able to cover it with a pretty minimal fee. The KLH engineers provided a proposal for engineering design and bid phase services for the Echo Hills Sterretania pump station and a water main extension. That's essentially to service the new business park that we are looking to expand into, McCain. And a resolution will be provided for the board's consideration on both of those topics. Additionally, capital budget revision. So a proposed capital budget revision was discussed and will be provided for the board's consideration. And that is to make the capital available for the proposal of the engineering design and bid phase for the Echo Hills Sterretania pump station that we just talked about. Pinvest service line replacement project, customer side galvanized requiring replacement phase 5. $10 million Pinvest funding offer was discussed, as Mr. Palmer already mentioned in his CEO report. And the reimbursement resolution and resolution to borrow will be provided for the board's consideration as a part of this committee's meeting, or this committee's topic. And then the Pinvest Pro-Fi 12th Street facility improvements, the $8 million Pinvest funding offer was discussed. Again, Craig already mentioned it, but the reimbursement resolution and the resolution to borrow will be provided for the board's consideration under this committee. For March financials, Erie Waterworks spent a little over $1.5 million on capital projects, while pay-go equated to just under $37,000. The total investment for the month was $1.54 million, and for the year thus far is $2.2 million. In terms of project updates, detailed status was provided. The 6B pump station, material equipment submittals are being reviewed. On the service line connections, I'll save everyone from the detailed numbers, but those projects are starting to pick up now that the weather's starting to change. The specific numbers and status of each one is provided in this report. On the service line replacement, item 4 now, the service line replacement project, customer sized phase 1. That work is anticipated to begin this month. On the customer side replacement phase 2, through March 2026, Shivers has completed just a lot of investigations. They have not started to do any replacements yet, so they're in the primarily investigation phase. On the service line replacement phase 3, we anticipate that work to begin in August. And on phase 4, the Pinvest closing is scheduled for this month. On the South Booster storage tank, Erie Waterworks has executed the real estate purchase agreement, and we're working with the seller and their lender on the terms for releasing the parcel from the loan collateral. I think a lot of that has already been worked out, just finalizing a couple of things with the seller and the bank. And then on the 12th Street facility improvements, again, that's the same $8 million Pinvest funding we talked about, but the architectural design is being finalized with Weber Murphy Fox Architects. Any questions for the summary before we move to resolutions? Okay, hearing none. Erie Waterworks 2026 capital budget revision, resolution number 042326-06. Resolved by the Board of Erie Waterworks that hereby revises its 2026 capital budget to reflect the line item changes in the following attachment. Explanation: this budget transfer will provide the necessary funding for various programs and projects as detailed on the attachment. This is the recommendation of the CIP committee, and I so move.
Second.
Thank you. And in the discussion, essentially what we are doing is we are repurposing $155,000 that is going to be freed up from the fleet agreement that we just approved and putting that towards the development of the Echo Hills Sterotania pump station design. And that will allow us the flexibility to be able to respond to a request to build that system when the demand arises. That way we're not a year and a half out of scope for potential future development in that area.
Thank you, Chad. Any questions? Hearing none. Tim?
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Ms. Dix,
yes,
Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Pilatus,
Yes.
Mr. Trot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next resolution is Erie Waterworks Award of Co-Stars and Professional Service Contracts, Service Connection Replacement Project Phase 4, and Echo Hills Sterotania Pump Station, Resolution Number 042326-07. Resolved by the Board of Erie Waterworks that the Chief Executive Officer is authorized to enter into contracts and professional service agreements related to the following projects as detailed below. Explanation. This resolution authorizes the award of contracts to the above referenced companies. The Pinvest-funded Service Connection Project Replacement Phase 4 project began in 2025, and current projections indicate more materials are needed to replace approximately 150 additional customer-side service lines. The Echo Hills Sterotania Pump Station design will support future provision of public water works to the McKean Business Park and will be contingent upon the concurrent approval of the Erie County Redevelopment Authority for design of the necessary water main extension, and will also be contingent upon the necessary acquisition of additional land at the existing Echo Hills Pump Station site. This is the recommendation of the CIP Committee, and I so move.
Second.
Questions?
I just wanted to point out that I've received word from Tina Mangine that the redevelopment authority their board did approve the expense to design the water main of this at their board meeting today. So that's a good thing.
Perfect.
And that's and the acquisition of the Echo Hills, that's separate.
That's separate, and we're also going down a track of utilizing the property we have. It's a little tight, but we've challenged our wonderful engineers to make it work. We were discussing property acquisition with two separate entities. And there's some challenges there. And so based on our timing, and so I think we're gonna have a good path forward either way. So
Worst case scenario, it doesn't work, can't close on Echo Hills, that contingency is just an out for us at this point. There's no obligation.
right, yes, absolutely.
Let's understand. Okay.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Ms. Dix,
yes,
Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Pilatus,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Mr. Wagner, that concludes the business of the CIP Committee.
Mr. Willis.
I'm sorry, I got a notice on my screen. Was my yes recorded?
It was, Cheryl.
Oh, thank you.
That's gonna take us to our Human Resource Committee report. Mr. Hilliard?
Yes. All right, so we had our Human Resource Committee meeting. And in attendance, it was myself, Ms. Harrington, Mr. Willis, Mr. Pilatus, Mr. Wagner, and then from staff perspective, it was Mr. Palmer and Mrs. Stafford. So getting into the Human Resources report, employment activity. So we have 4 new hires, 2 laborers, 1 GIS support technician, and 1 GIS analyst, 2 internal promotions were had and 2 internal transfers. There were 3 resignations and 1 termination for a probationary employee. And then also recruitment efforts are in progress for a laborer, a water quality supervisor, as well as a maintenance and project coordinator, and then a customer service representative. All right, moving on to the collective bargaining agreement activity. The Teamsters Local 397. We are collaborating on union member participation in the upcoming community events. ASME Local 2206. Procedural guidelines are being developed to ensure consistent enforcement with the new contract. Some department updates from administrative perspective. A revised annual compliance training and workplace conduct include a focus session for supervisors was created and implemented implementation, of the training program has begun. Also, the community engagement. So we held 2 employee events, conducted 3 tours for community groups, and participated in 2 career-focused community events in March and April. Regarding safety reports and training, there have been 2 vehicle accidents and 2 workers' compensation incidents in 2026. The new employee orientation program has been revised to increase the depth of safety knowledge upon hire. We also, to ensure in our storage areas and audit shelving, weight requirements was conducted with necessary corrections completed. A weight scale was purchased to ensure weight capacities are not exceeded, and a forklift training program was created and will be complete in mid-May. And then the CEO and EHS manager met with both the Erie Fire Department and attended a public safety advisory committee meeting held by the Erie County Public Safety to collaborate with first responders for emergency preparedness. And then finally, a risk assessment was conducted regarding chemical deliveries. And speaking to that, just wanted to highlight a couple things regarding what Craig's team has been doing. Notice at the number 4 with the Erie Fire Department and meeting with them to kind of give them our designs of specific buildings. So if something were to happen, they already have those designs of the buildings, and those first responders can feel a little bit more comfortable knowing where certain things are located within the building. So kudos to Craig and his team regarding that, working with the Erie Fire Department. And then finally, the job that we do and Craig's team do on a daily basis dealing with chemicals, it's important that, we assess our how can you put it, assess what we're doing as far as chemical delivery is said. And I think that's important that we continue to do that to make sure, we're minimizing the risk as possible. So those are just a couple of things that I wanted to highlight from the HR committee that, we haven't done in the past. And I think Craig's team is doing a great job with that. And so if there's no questions, that concludes my HR report, Mr. President.
No, I just want to echo what Chantel said. It may be some perspective for some of the newer members, we'll call it BC before Craig. The work that, that Abby's doing with employee engagement is tremendous. It's all going in the right direction. And like Chantel said, the safety culture is a culture, and it's catching on, right? I think the risk assessment for chemical deliveries is tremendous, as we still get, bulk deliveries of chlorine gas at Chestnut. That's the kind of thing that would keep me up at night. So just to echo what Chantel said, we're moving in the right direction. And kudos to the staff for that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen so many items listed under safety programs, and the safety of our employees should be priority number one. So thank you, Craig and the team, for putting so much effort into that. And then, yeah, no, just tremendous work there. Glad to see it. And then just one follow-up question, Craig. I noticed two of the hires are related to the GIS. So just curious how that's going. I know it's still kind of newer for us and bringing that in-house.
Well, GIS, no.
Oh, sorry, that's the one,
He had one call.
one call. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, okay,
But
sorry.
those gentlemen have been in place almost a year now, bringing that
Okay.
back. But the GIS, you know, we had a couple individuals who had around 10 years of experience, and one left for totally different, to become a lineman for Black, and the other had a remote work option. And so, you know, chose that, but, you know, we've already replaced one with Brady, who was here earlier, and then the other GIS person we just hired is coming on later this month. So we're, you know, Abby's done a great job attracting the talent, finding the talent, and so we'll be, it'll be nice to be up to full staff again with the GIS. It's critical for everything we do, our lead program, everything's run through that. So, great to be here. Thanks.
I think that's next month.
And then the one call, sorry, if I'm saying that right?
Yeah, he had one call.
PA one call, fully staffed, Wayne as well.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, they're doing a great job as well. They are, yeah, so.
Okay, good, thank you.
And the only thing I have to say is, you know, to convince those people who are trying to keep safe, that we're serious about it, it has to start from the top. And you did what needed to be done to convince those people we care about them. And we want to send them home the same way they came to work.
And everybody's got to be on board.
And everybody's got to be on board. It's taken seriously, and that's wonderful. Okay, anything else? Okay. Thank you, Chantel. That's going to take us to whole business, and I don't think there is any. Which will lead us to Mr. Wachter and the solicitor's report.
Thank you very much. Since the last meeting, we have closed on the galvanized service line replacement project phase 4. That was closed on April 8th. What is not included in here was the preparation of the documents for the phase 5 and the ProFi agreements, which I think we'll see later, reimbursement resolutions and the resolutions to borrow. Perform contract reviews related to the Chestnut Water Treatment Plant sludge pump and motor, as well as the Amgola construction and maintenance for 6B reservoir cover cleaning and inspection projects. I'm hoping at some point we'll be able to get to the point where we can name these projects so I could just refer to them by acronyms. But we're not quite there. With respect to the right to know compliance and requests, we've continued to provide those services. We have seen an uptick in right to knows. Hopefully those will be slowing down. I'm finding some wood here. We'll use that for Micah. And then with respect to the leaf filter, that is the company that we've been working with in order to address some of the marketing and behavior that's been occurring, which may lead people to believe that their employees are with the water company, when in fact they are not.
And from personal experience, I was solicited by someone from this company at my house. And I didn't say who I was and I just let him give his spiel. And they wanted to test the water and to let you know that exactly what's in your water and making a reference that it might not be what it's pumped up to be. And I think kind of when we were parting ways, because I said, no, I'm not interested. It seemed like it was a sales pitch a little bit for a water softener that they're marketing. And But I sent him on his way and said, thank you. And then I called Craig. I told him what happened and, yeah. And, so we needed to stop that. And I think we probably are in the process of, that approach being stopped anyways.
Yes, and your experience was actually better than others that have been reported to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Others have been a little more concerning, and so we were addressing those specifically, and we haven't received a final communication from them, but we've made our point.
Yeah, good. Needed to be done. Thank you. Any other questions? What are we gonna do with these resolutions?
I'll propose them.
Yeah.
So starting on page 42, Erie Waterworks, request for reimbursement resolution for cost on consumer side. Galvanized service line replacement project, phase 5, resolution number 042326-08 dated April 23rd, 2026. Move as written.
Second.
Any questions? Yeah,
Mr. Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dix,
Yes.
Ms. Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Trot, Mr. Wagner,
yeah.
Mr. Willis.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to page 44, Erie Waterworks, request for resolution to borrow for cost on customer side galvanized service line replacement project phase 5, resolution number 04232609. I move to accept as written.
Second.
Any questions?
The loan interest on that, is that like another 1%?
Any other questions? Hearing none, Kim?
Ms. Dix,
I am slow on the draw today. Yes.
Ms. Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to page 69. Have resolution of the evening. Erie Waterworks request for reimbursement resolution for costs on West 12th Street Maintenance Facility renovation and distribution system profile resolution number 042326-10 dated April 23rd, 2026. Motion as written.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, Kim?
Ms. Harrington,
Yes.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Berquist,
Yes.
Ms. Dix.
Yes.
And if I'm counting this correctly,
71.
we're on page 71 for the last resolution. Erie Waterworks request for resolution to borrow for cost on West 12th Street Maintenance Facility renovation and distribution system profile. Resolution number 042326-11 dated April 23rd, 2026. Motion approved as written.
Any questions? Hearing none, Kim?
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
Otis,
Yes.
Mr. Trot,
Yes.
Mr. Wagner,
Yes.
Mr. Willis,
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Dix,
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Walker?
Sure. We'll move forward. We're planning on running the first resolution with the city council on May 20th, having a final resolution on June 3rd with respect to the guarantees, and we'll be in a position to file with the Department of Community and Economic Development on the Penn Best timeline.
Okay, thank you. Conclude your report?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's going to take us to new business. And I don't think there is any. And we'll call for an adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for all your hard work. There was a lot on the agenda today, so appreciate all the heavy lifting the committees did and hoping to get us through expedition.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I was gonna say, had that interesting electronic signature.
Yeah.